When you drive in Australia, the cameras are watching.
These cameras have opened the window into what people do behind the wheel.
And as artificial intelligence is deployed to decipher what the cameras spy, the result is a flurry of fines.
I was outrageous. How can they say I did something what we definitely not did?
There's no compassion. It makes me actually not want to drive.
It is extraordinary as Road Safety Minister to see people eating breakfast, no hands on the wheel, sometimes not wearing a seatbelt as well, looking at a laptop, obviously playing on their phone. One person was smoking illicit drugs, both hands on a device behind the wheel.
But does the technology always get it right? Anna Barrett is recovering from breast cancer.
I can't even tell you how many surgeries I've had. I've had that many. And I adjust it so that I haven't got pressure on my wounds because I want my wounds to heal.
Last October, she was driving home from a medical appointment when she was snapped by an overhead camera in Perth with the sash of the seatbelt tucked under her arm. The penalty, a $550 fine and 4 demerit points, putting her a third of the way towards losing her licence.
I was actually shocked to the point that I actually rang up Department of Transport. I was advised to get a medical certificate and submit it to them and ask for a review, which is exactly what I did.
The review was unsuccessful, so Anna decided to challenge the fine in court.
I'm trying to put this to bed without it escalating. You know, who wants to go to court?
The cameras have been set up in WA since February last year. In the first 8 months of operation, 114,000 drivers were snapped not wearing their seatbelt or wearing it incorrectly and were sent a caution. Once penalties started being enforced, the number of seatbelt offences dropped from 114,000 to around 54,000. Around 3,000 drivers have appealed and 60% of them have been successful. That equates to more than $2 million in fines being withdrawn, but the Minister stands by the technology.
Absolutely, these cameras and changed behaviour are definitely saving the lives of Western Australians.
Most Australian states now use AI-assisted cameras to spot seatbelt offences, with hundreds of thousands of fines issued in the past few years. Depending on the state or territory, it's not just the driver's seatbelt that attracts a fine. Passengers not wearing theirs correctly is also an offence and the driver gets the penalty. But many have appealed, arguing that from the driver's seat it's quite difficult to see what your passenger is doing while also focusing on the road. There have also been false positives, where the seatbelt was being worn correctly, but the image has been misinterpreted.
I think it was one of the most stressful times in our lives, yes.
Last April in Queensland, Yvonne Belgart was shocked to receive a $1,200 fine and 4 demerit points.
The moment the camera snapped us, my mother-in-law was scratching her nose. And the arm covered the top part of the seatbelt, while the bottom part is still visible on the photo.
Yvonne wrote to Queensland's Department of Transport and Main Roads contesting the fine, but her explanation was rejected.
I was 100% sure that the seatbelt was on her because I myself put the seatbelt on her.
So she took the department to court.
The court has permitted you to go at large without bail.
That sounds like I'm a criminal.
Over the course of a year, Yvonne has had to go to court 4 times. But then, without explanation, the department dropped her case.
It feels like a win, but also not a win. It nearly caused a divorce.
Last year, an audit found Queensland's Department of Transport and Main Roads was not effectively identifying the risks of AI, including the cameras getting it wrong and not enough human oversight.
They don't know how effective this technology is, and still they're using it. This is a scandal, in my view.
The department declined to comment on Yvonne's case and says AI is only used to filter images for human review.
Okay, yeah, so I do.
Back in WA, Anna's penalty has now been withdrawn. The department wrote to her to apologise for any unnecessary distress or inconvenience, adding that her case had highlighted areas where processes needed to improve.
It's a massive relief, but where's the compensation? I'm held to account every day. They need to be held to account.